This is how to get better at origami. I'm not sure which part it is, maybe part 5 or part 6. I'm not sure which order I will upload these videos in, but this is how to get better at 22.5 crease patterns and not box pleat. So this video will cover references, but I will not show how to find the reference for this one because it's going to be part of a challenge for this video. If you really want to get better at these types of crease patterns and pre-creasing them mostly, then watch this video, it is for you. Now let me just give a quick example. Get rid of this. This is the 22.5, this is just box pleat. I'm just going to draw a quick grid. So now mostly for box pleat, pre-creasing, again I don't know if I'll be hated for saying this, but there's no real challenge in pre-creasing box pleat. Let me just give a quick example. Here we have the square, and we just try and do an 8x8 grid. Watch me fail at this. Oh god, I did 4 and 3. Anyway, there, I've failed. Let me do this side. So with box pleat, when you actually make the full grid, you have already pre-creased most of the creases, and then it's just a matter of connecting up to the other ones. So for instance, when you make the grid, you just need to count the creases. So let's just do, for example, 1, 2, 3 across, 1, 2 down. So I'm going to make a wee circle here, and then from here, 1 across, 1, 2, 3, and then there, and then from this point to this point you make a crease. So that is basically what box pleating pre-creasing is about. There is probably no real challenge. It's a matter of understanding how to pre-crease certain things, smudged it, and then from there on it's just connecting the creases. And then for instance, just all the way up. So when you do pre-creasing like this, it's just a matter of looking at where the creases go and by how much. For instance, from here to here, 1 across by 2 down, 2 across by 5 up, 1 across by 3, the same here. That is basically what box pleating pre-creasing is. Now if we look at the other end of it, 22.5 degrees, this is the crease. Yeah, so I wanted to make this video for ages, but I couldn't find a good enough crease pattern that would give a really good example of how to go about doing it, and this is really good practice on making the actual creases and going about actually doing it. Now I don't know the actual name of the designer and the model name. So if you know it, which I will include on the screen in a couple of minutes, make sure to let me know so I can include the designer in the title and obviously link them below, so make sure you do that. So this is the crease pattern. This is what we have. And you're probably thinking, whoa, what the hell is that? If you've noticed it from this angle, let me see. Yeah, you can see that fine. So if we look at the diagonal, we notice that two things. It's asymmetrical or asymmetric. So this side is different from this side. Not all of it, especially here and here, obviously different. And here, just zoom in to show you. Again, this crease pattern will be in the description, so make sure to download this, as it will be really good practice. Now, how we go about pre-creasing a crease pattern like this is, first of all, we need to find the reference. I'm not going to show this reference because this is the reason why. When I'm going to upload this video will be the 2nd of January, because on the 1st I'm uploading the top 10 and then this will be the 2nd. So the reason for uploading this video on the 2nd is because I want to give a challenge to everyone that is watching this video. If you're watching this video and you honestly want to get better at pre-creasing 22.5s crease patterns, then this video is for you. Keep watching. If it is not for you, do not watch. Because I really want to help people get better at pre-creasing crease patterns like this. So I will show the reference at the very end of the video, like the last 10 seconds before my outro. So if you really want to figure out the reference for this crease pattern, then you can skip to the time on the video, probably up here somewhere. But if you want to challenge yourself, don't do that. Focus on the crease pattern, and it's just a matter of understanding creases. So again, the reference will be at the end of the video. So if you can't figure it out by the time this video finishes and then you're unsure, make sure to check it out. But if you want to challenge yourself, then don't do that. So 22.5s, what does this mean? It basically means that near enough every crease is either 90 degrees, which, let me just show you here. In fact, we will go back to this bit of paper, which I can do a better example of. So we have 90 degrees, so let's just draw another square. Even though it's a bad square, so this crease right here is 90 degrees. Basically 90 degrees is folding this layer over, this edge over, and keeping these creases lined up. Keep this edge lined up. So we have, this pen keeps turning, 90 degrees. Then if we take this edge and fold it to this edge, we get 45. Let me just do that. And then if we take, this is where 22.5 comes in. If we take this edge and fold it to this edge, we get 22.5. So that's the three main numbers that are used in 22.5 crease patterns: 90 degrees, 45, 22.5. So if we go back here and I zoom out, instantly, let's just do this for example. Let me find a good part. This crease right here, this one right here, this is 90 degrees. How do we know it's 90 degrees from looking at the crease pattern? Well, we can tell it does go straight up. Now with crease patterns like this, what is the chance that this line right here is not 90 degrees but 86.2, even though it looks straight? The chances of that happening are extremely low, like literally 0.01%. That will happen because crease patterns in 22.5 degrees are one of those three creases, these angles, 45, 90, 22.5. And another way of doing it, other than judging from looking at the crease pattern, is print it off like this and then just make that crease. I'm going to make this crease and see if these edges line up. So the crease is made. I'm going to just make this a mountain fold, for example, and then I can see these edges line up. So they're not like this. So if I made this crease and then made it and then realised, okay, they're not lining up, there's a gap here and there's no gap here, so there's obviously a different angle than 90. So that's a good way of figuring it out. But most of the time it's judging, it's looking. I can easily see this part is a square. This crease looks perfectly straight going down. Again, so does this one. And this one. Maybe even this one right in the centre. And this one, they all look completely straight, like parallel to the edge of the paper and the top. Now, how do we know what creases are 45 degrees? Again, we can look by judging. For instance, we have this little square right here and we have this crease right here. So this crease indicates this 45 degree crease right here, and this is the bisector. If you're not sure how to make a bisector, then I suggest you learn how to do it, but I will show you. It is taking one edge, and folding it to another edge. For example, Yeah, that'll be fine. So I'm going to take this bottom edge, fold it to this edge. And then crease, and then I'm hoping that when I unfold this, this crease should go through this crease. So let's check, and there we go. It has went through that blue crease, so I know that that crease right there is 45 degrees. And the same again for the 22.5, this crease right here. We are again going to fold this up to the 45 degrees and then make the crease halfway. So let's try this. I'm going to take this bottom edge and fold it to this crease. And I'm hoping it will go through this red part right here. I'm just going to extend up a wee bit. And then if I unfold it, I'm hoping it goes through that part. And it does. So we know that it's 22.5. It's very, very rarely going to be a different angle. Of course it will be for more complex 22.5s. Let me just give a quick example. This is Robert Lang's cactus. And for instance, we have a square right here. We have a 4x4 square right here. Now, how do we know? Are these creases 22.5s? Are they bisectors? For instance, if we make, let me see, yeah, right here. If we take this edge to this edge and then quickly make it, and then unfold it, it goes through that crease. Now what if I fold this edge to that crease? Will it make this crease right here? If I do that and make the crease, it does not. Let me zoom in. So as you can see, this crease goes down here. So it's not completely 22.5, it's a different angle. So that's a rough idea of different crease patterns. So when you pre-crease this, you first of all need to find the main crease. Now most of the time, crease patterns like this will give you the reference already on it, so there will probably be like a grey line going like from here to here, and then here to here, and then here to here, and then wherever they intersect there'll be a wee circle, and then that will indicate the reference here to the actual crease pattern, and the crease pattern will normally have a wee circle which shows that the line you made here is this line right here, and then you can go ahead and pre-crease that. But when you do that, you first of all find the main one, and then once you have the main references, you can then use together to make the rest of the creases. Now it can be challenging, so let me just, an easier way to pre-crease this, to make it more easy, is when you pre-crease, you make the full crease. Even though the crease on the crease pattern doesn't include it all, always make the full crease, and if possible, colour in the line as well, because it makes it easier, because the more lines you colour in, the more you can see, the more you can realise that, okay, this crease intersects with this one. I know that at this point I can then make a 90-degree crease straight across. And then I know that when I make this one and this one, I know where the crease stops, and then so on. It's a bit hard to explain, but that's generally the rough idea. So for the challenge of this video, when I upload this will be the 2nd of January. For those that really want to get better at pre-creasing, I want to give you a challenge And I want you to try and pre-crease this completely by the end of January. And what I want you to do is take pictures of what you've got by the end of January, take pictures of what you've pre-creased, send them to me on Instagram. Depending on how much you have got done, I also would like, if possible, for you to tell me what you struggled with, what you didn't struggle with, what were you able to make, just things that would help, things that you found that you could do on your own and things that you couldn't do on your own. And from those answers that I get, I will try my best to make a video and explain how to go about overcoming those problems and getting past those brick walls in order to help you get further and basically practice with these crease patterns. So that is my challenge. Again, I'll include all this information in the description to make it more easy, and of course the link will also be in the description. Make sure to download the crease pattern. Now, you've probably skipped to the end of the video. If not, you've probably already watched it. I am going to draw the reference if you couldn't figure it out, which is this crease right here. So we have this black line. Now, how do we make this black line? First of all, we will make the diagonals, and then we will fold this edge to the centre crease. Like that. And we will unfold it, and then we can then make this crease by folding it down, folding this point down, starting a crease from where this point is, whilst keeping the point of this crease, of this edge, for example, basically keeping this edge aligned with the full diagonal of the square. Like that. So we're keeping it going along the centre crease, not at an angle. Make sure it's perfectly straight and aligned. Then unfold it, and then you have the two main creases that you need and can use to pre-crease the rest. And then from here you can make this crease. This is a 90-degree crease, it goes all the way up. So again, fold this edge over. I'm not going to show you, but that's what you would do. You would fold it over, starting at this point right here, and then obviously repeat it here, and then you are able to half this and make the rest of the creases. And that is it. I can't wait to see how much you can do of this. If you can pre-crease it all, great. If you can't, then of course let me know in the comments. In the comments, and obviously at the end of January, let me know exactly what you could and couldn't do, and I will try my best to help out. So I hope this video helps a lot, and thank you so much for watching. See you in the next part.